This is Rogue River Blue, made by Rogue Creamery out of Oregon. It's a 12-month aged blue that's been wrapped in pear spirit soaked grape leaves. It's seasonally released on the autumnal equinox of each year, and in 2019, it was the best cheese in the world. Its label proudly bears this accolade, as it is the only American cheese to have ever earned this exclusive title. It is also USDA certified organic, a rarity amongst artisan cheese. Rogue River Blue is made only with Rogue Creamery's best milk, hence its seasonal release. For Rogue, their pasture is best in the fall, and the autumn flavors permeate this milk, and thus this cheese. First off, I gotta say that this is the most pleasantly aromatic blue that I have ever whiffed. And I have whiffed my fair share of blues. They're usually quite the nostril punch, but this one is uniquely sweet. Seriously, it smells kind of like an ice cream shop. I mean, don't get me wrong, that distinctive blue cheese smell is definitely there, but it's mixed with this fruity, sugary smell. I'm gonna attribute that to the grape leaf wrap and the pear liqueur, which the aroma of definitely shines through just a little bit. So that distinctive blue smell comes from Penicillium roqueforti. That's the mold that makes blue cheese blue. You can even see the inoculation lines here, where the mold was introduced to the cheese during the cheese making process. I'm gonna cut into it now, and when I do, look closely at the blue veins, and you'll see the calcium lactate crystals that have formed during the aging process. These are not to be confused with tyrosine crystals, which are the other crystal that form inside of aged cheese. Here's how you tell the difference between the two. Calcium lactate crystals can form on the surface as well as the interior of the cheese, whereas tyrosine crystals will only form on the inside. Tyrosine is a brighter white in color, and the crystals are harder and crunchier. Calcium lactate crystals are a duller kind of white color, and a bit softer, not quite the same crunch. Perhaps a lesson for another day, because now I want you to vicariously experience the remarkable flavor of Rogue River Blue through the internet. So, on the tip of the tongue, a sudden, sharp, sweet salt shock, then immediately following there is the blue. It's like going to a party, and you know your crush is going to be there, but yet still, you're surprised when you see them. You're just like, it's my crush. I expect this, but I'm still caught off guard by it. But it's okay, because they were looking for you too. And they want you to try this really good pear brandy that they made themselves. And they made it just for you. Before, you never realized what your blue was missing. I mean, you never even realized it was missing anything until you tried this. The pear pairs perfectly, impossibly perfectly, perhaps, how the blue umami transitions surreally into the pear sweetness, but it does. And as the blue fades, the pear comes front and center, followed by a whole orchestra of flavors, a whole arrangement of tastes that plays across your palate. Nutty and fruity notes mingle amongst an echo of the blue and a chime of the pear. Slowly, a musical flavor fades away, but still it lingers on the tongue and in the mind. It's a flavor track that must be put on repeat. I had to experience it just one more time, every time. Wannabe cheese poetry aside, damn, Rogue River Blue is really good. I seriously couldn't stop eating it while making this review. So, what would I pair with such a marvelous cheese? Rogue Creamery actually suggests a whole multitude of different wines, beers, and spirits. Really very versatile in its flavor profile. For me, I like this high rye bourbon. A lot of cheeses won't hold up to strong drinks like this, and I always relish the opportunity for whiskey pairings. I also like the idea of pairing it with dessert wines. Rogue River Blue carries plenty of sweetness, and that would make for a nice complementary pairing with something like a port, but at the end of the day, it might just be a bit too sweet. Really, this is just the kind of cheese I want to enjoy after dinner, just to sit down and slowly savor it for dessert. Putting it on a cracker almost feels like a disservice to such an incredible and exclusive cheese, so I suggest just licking it off of a silver spoon. Now let's rate Rogue River Blue. We'll use a 1 to 10 scale. Everything about the cheese will be considered from flavor, texture, and versatility to aroma and even aesthetics. Also, there may be a bonus point awarded if the cheese bears some sort of historical significance that somehow makes it special. Additionally, I may award another bonus point. Think of this as my personal seal of approval. Certain cheeses I will enjoy more than their rating suggests, so this is a way that I can even things out. So yeah, it's a 1 to 10 scale, but better because it goes all the way to 12. Now that we've covered that, I rate Rogue River Blue 9.8 out of 10. It's downright amazing. Its long list of awards removes any doubts about that. It was the first, and so far only, American cheese to ever win the World Cheese Awards. And because of that, I would like to give it another bonus point. In fact, I'm going to give it my second bonus point as well. For a final score of 11.8, there are thousands of cheeses in the world, and Rogue Creamery's Rogue River Blue is one of the very best. I can only tell you what it tastes like to me, and you can only tell what it tastes like to you. So go find yourself some Rogue River Blue. You may see it around September to December, but do be aware that it has been in high demand since becoming a world cheese champion, so don't pass on a piece if you come across one. This has been Fancy Cheese and Stuff. Yes, the title is meant to be self-explanatory. Subscribe for weekly cheese reviews and other stuff too. Be well, and be fancy.